Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. And as you can see, I'm coming to you from the International Passenger Terminal here at Circular Quay. It's becoming a regular hangout for my Jim's 5am clubs. But what I've learnt over life is that when something's beautiful, when something's gorgeous, you just got to keep on going back to it, because aesthetically there's not too many places in Sydney that have this magnificent view, this vista, and it's just wonderful to be able just to stroll down from your work and to be surrounded by one of the most beautiful harbours, beautiful cities in the world. Albeit it's empty, not too many people about. Don't know why, but it's pretty deserted at the moment. But later on in the week, when the sun's out, I'm sure that there'll be more people heading down and around this area. Anyway, let's go on a walk and talk today. Today I choose to focus on a book summary of a book entitled Ego is the Enemy. I repeat, Ego is the Enemy, and the author is the awesome Richard Carlson. He's written a number of books, but this one here is an absolute cracker. And what I'll do is I'll just select a few items out of the book and talk about them. But we all know about ego. In every social circle, every friends group that we have, there are the ones who are always dominated by their egos, people who you need to walk on eggshells whenever you're dealing with them, for fear of annoying them or getting on the wrong side of them. But it shouldn't be the case, because at the end of the day, we're all born equal, we all come into the world equal, and we all deserve to be treated with respect and dignity and not looked down upon by anybody, especially those who have an inflated sense of purpose or sense of importance. And you just look at their lifestyle, you just look at their results, and you just scratch your head sometimes and wonder, where has this bloody ego come from? Because it's not deserving, and it's not supported by any results or anything which would give you the impression that they are any better than anybody else, other than the fact that they think that they are so good that the sun shines out of their backsides. So the book Ego is the Enemy basically highlights the fact that our greatest undoing is where we sit and think that we are the ant's pants, we are the centre of the universe, and we are much better than what we actually are. I don't know where it comes from. Dare I say it comes from the way we're brought up, our social environment, where our parents just overinflate us with the concept that you're the best, you're so much better than Johnny, or you're so much better than so-and-so, and look at them and look at that and compare and contrast, so that you get to the point where you sit and think with great fantasy that you are so good that you can't do any wrong, and you're the standard bearer that other people should hold themselves up to. I remember when I was at school once at Newington College, we had a maths teacher. His name was Mr. Martin. I forget his first name. Anyway, I've got dementia kicking in at some point, but I forget his first name, but we always used to call him Mr. or Sir. And in the maths class, we get our results back, and he'd ask the class, how did you find the test? And a few people would say, oh, it was easy. I got 70 out of 100, or I passed. And he said, for you to pass the test, obviously I asked the wrong questions. Because we just can't simply think that because we pass a test or we do good at something, this, that and the other, that we can use that as the benchmark for the rest of our lives, thinking that we are much, much better than all of those around us. You see it in the school system. At HSC, for example, the kids who score the highest marks, the highest ATAR, all of a sudden they think that that ATAR there is something that they can rest on and be the measurement that they can use for the rest of their lives. Or going to uni and graduating from uni, people think that that is the be-all or end-all, and they take their foot off the accelerator only to find out later in life that there are people who have just accelerated past them because they were hungrier and had a greater zest for results, growth and development than they had. It's important to realise, all of us need to realise, that our jobs don't define our station in life. They're just a means of how we earn income, how we earn money to live a lifestyle, and they are in no way a representation of who we are as a person and what value can be placed on us as a person, because we're all unique, we're all special, and we're all needed in this interdependent and networked world. So one of the things that came out of the book, which I absolutely loved in the book Ego is Your Enemy, is that you need to have 3 types of people in your life at all times in order to maintain your growth and development. It's called the plus minus equal equation. Plus minus equal. What do you think plus minus equal means? It's pretty easy when you hear me out. The plus means that you need people in your life who are better than you, who have been there, who have achieved what you want to achieve because they've focused on it, they've worked hard. So you need people who are better than you. You need, in order to learn from them, to chase them, to have them cajole you into growing and developing and taking the steps up to the next level. Additionally, the minus means that you need people who are less capable than you, people who don't have the experience that you have, either are younger than you, not strong as you, but people who are growing and developing, because you need these people in order to help grow and develop and pass on your knowledge and your skills to them. And of course you need people who are the equal of you, so that you can compete with them on a daily basis, so that you can compare and contrast, you can benchmark, you can baseline your skills against theirs, and use that as an opportunity for you both to grow and develop and to keep each other honest. So once again, plus minus equals means, let's look at it from a training perspective. You need to be training or hanging out with people who are better than you. So say for example in a karate class, if you're a green belt or if you're middle of the road, you need to be training with black belts so you can see what the standard is that you need to reach for. You need to be training with white belts so that you get an opportunity to show them the ropes and teach them, because through teaching we also reinforce learning. And you also need a peer group so that you can work with them to hone your skills, to benchmark your skills, and to push each other, pull each other, so that you can grow your skills base and become much, much better than what you were if you were just training alone. Because a lot of people who have got big egos are the people who don't have the opportunity to benchmark themselves against other people. They have grown up, or they work in a sheltered sort of environment where they're protected. They're a protected species, and they've never been challenged. They've never been vigorously challenged to show them their shortfalls, their weaknesses, their incompetencies. And it's only through time that society, community, the world will eventually slap them in the face to wake them up, to show them that they are no better than the people who they've been looking down on, and to allow them an opportunity to gain some humility. I remember when I was working at Telstra with a fellow called John Nematala, and he'd be in meetings and people would come all puffed up to the meeting, and he'd just tell them, "Excuse me, can you just go and take off your attitude t-shirt and leave it at the door, because your attitude, your puffiness is not welcomed in this meeting, and unless you change your ways, you're not going to get my support and you're not going to get anything done." So he put them in their place big time. So that's basically it, guys. It's funny, but we all have a touch of ego when we're young. We grow up thinking that we know a lot more than what we do. We're a lot better than what we think we are. But it's only when you start running against people who are better that you realise that that dream of being the 100-metre Olympic champion is only a pipe dream and something that you may never achieve. But by the same token, there are people who have skills, have capability, and have every reason to be egotistical and to be puffed up and arrogant, and yet they are further from. They couldn't be any further from those things. They're the kindest people. They're the people who are willing to help. There are people who are willing to talk down any compliments that you give them. So I guess the big thing that we can focus on, or the learning from this chat today, is for young people to pull their heads in and don't go full steam ahead with ego unless your ego is matched by capability. You know, you can be the most confident person in the world, but if you lack capability, then you're going to get your nose bloodied quick and proper. So let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I'm well, and I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, and let's not forget the lesson from Richard Carlson's book, Ego is the Enemy, to try and battle as often as you can against the temptation to be egotistical, to think that you're the best, to think that you're the prettiest, to think that you're the sexiest, to think that you're way smarter way cleverer, way more high performing than what you are. In many ways, you're better off being a little tempered with your assessment of your abilities. And as my grandfather used to say, don't commend or don't promote your children all the time. It's better to have other people compliment your children and say how good they are, because by a parent complimenting their children, it is a little bit of a turn-off, and it also indicates that there's maybe a few challenges or issues there, that the child needs positive stroking all the time. But as we alluded to before, each child, each person needs to know that there are people better than them, that they can reach up to, look up to and learn from. There are people who are less fortunate or less capable than them, who they can assist, they can help, they can coach and lift them up to the next level. And there is also a massive peer group that they can tap into, that they can compete against, to enable them to stay relevant, to stay in touch, to stay match fit, and to push each other and cajole each other and to draw each other to a next level as well. Take care, everybody. Yasas. And humility is the most beautiful thing in the world, and it's something that there are many egotistical people that need to learn. But one thing for sure and for certain is that life has the humility pill ready for everybody, and will be dishing it out at some point in their lives. So it's best to be humble, to start off with, so you don't need to be brought down to size. Take care, everybody. Yasas from Jim's 5am Club, and we'll chat again tomorrow morning, 5am. Don't know where I'll be, but I'll be in some magical location highlighting the beauty of Sydney, and also sharing a book summary, sharing an experience, or sharing a story that will hopefully help us all grow and develop and run together. Yasas, bye for now. Cheers, and until tomorrow.